Oh, it's gonna be so nice to see Nephew Newton again, Maggie Belle.
Yes, Sister Sue. He's been away from us for a long time.
The most wonderful years of my life. Say, by the way, where is that Nashville moocher? We've been waiting for him all morning.
Oh, don't worry about Newton, Montgomery. He said he'd be arriving today, and he'll arrive today.
I just know this is Newton's train, Montgomery. I want you to be nice to him, you hear?
Well, I don't see him getting off.
Just be patient. He's bound to be on this train. There he is!
Yoo-hoo, Newton, over here!
Hi there, Aunties and Uncle Monty. How nice of you to meet my train. I'll be right with you. Just have to get my bag.
Well, what do you know? Old Newton must have struck it rich down there traveling first class like that. Last time he arrived in town via a cattle car.
Never mind the cracks, pea-brain. Just go out and call a cab. We'll be along as soon as Newton gets his luggage.
Well, au revoir, ladies. It's been a most enjoyable trip.
Tell us about South America, Newton.
Well, it's really quite a delightful place. I traveled all over, you know, Brazil, Chile, Peru, and... Oh, by the way, that reminds me, Colonel, I took the liberty of giving your real estate office as a forwarding address when I left. Now, if any letters should come from me, you'll turn them over to me, won't you, old chum?
Yeah, sure, old chum.
Go on, nephew. Tell us more.
Well, like I say, it's delightful, but of course there are some rather fierce tribes in the jungle.
Really? How terrifying.
Yes, you can get a shrunken head for $50.
That's so. Looks like you got the $100 job there, Nephew, old boy.
Just stand there, Montgomery. Carry Newton's bag upstairs.
Here, Uncle dear, let me take that. It's too heavy for you. Why don't you just take care of the cab? I'll see you upstairs.
That'll be $4.95. He's having all his mail sent here, huh?
Yes, Calvin, I'd sure like to know who's writing the boy.
Well, you wouldn't tamper with the mail, would you, Colonel?
Calvin, a Southern gentleman, would never do anything like that. In the whole glorious history of the Claxon family, there's never been a tamper rap.
Yes, things like that make a Southerner tremble with pride.
Well, look at there. The steam accidentally jammed under there and flipped the flap open.
Yeah, it'll do that, all right.
Well, so much for staying clear of the law. Now let's read it. Of all the sneaky tricks.
Yeah, using a lot of big words we can't understand.
You dummy, that's Spanish.
Oh, well, I knew I couldn't understand it. I just had the reason wrong.
Hey, there's a word there that looks familiar. P-E-S-O. Peso. That's Spanish for money.
You sure?
Calvin, that's one word I know in every language. Peso. That's like the great American dollar. Only difference is I think the peso has a picture of the Cisco Kid on it.
Just look at the heading on the letter. They got an oil well on there.
And let me tell you something, son. In a South American letter, when you find an oil well and the word peso together, you know you're about to eat high on the enchilada. We got to get this thing translated.
Yeah. Say, I was just thinking, I know a gal that owns a tortilla parlor down the street. I was engaged to her once. She speaks Spanish.
Well, let's go.
You figure Nephew Newton is liable to get suspicious?
Oh, of course not. Why, the very thought of him getting suspicious of his devoted Uncle Montgomery is completely unbelievable.
What are you doing, Newton?
I've got a lot of valuables in my suitcase here, and I just want to make sure that dear Uncle Montgomery doesn't start snooping.
Yeah, you can't be too careful with him.
I remember when I got back from my last trip. That dirty crook came in here and he swiped all the perfume I smuggled in from Mexico. Everybody has to have a safe place to keep things. The government's got Fort Knox. I got my underwear.
How did do?
Calvin Burnside, eres un gran imbécil. ¿Dónde andaste? ¿A dónde fuiste? Cochino morano sin vergüenza.
And greetings to you, too.
We get engaged and then I never see you again, you big cucaracha.
Well, I've been kind of tied up. Business, directors' meetings, tax problems, shooting pool, all that stuff.
Well, what you want now, fat stiff?
Well, ma'am, you see,
Oh, I'll just have a taco with all the trimmings.
Okay, lover boys, I'm going to trim you good. Okay, here you is, kid. 1.5 taco.
Now to get to the point of the visit, Senorita.
Would you translate this letter for us?
The way you for to treat me, I do not know for why I should.
Because I'm still crazy about you, Chiquita.
That reminds me, I gotta get my vacuum cleaner fixed.
All right, I read it for you. Señor Newton G. Newton, le avisamos que sus acciones en la Compañía Nacional Petrolera ahora tienen el valor de 10,000 pesos.
What's it all about, Chiquita?
Well, it seems Newton G. Newton is very lucky. She buy himself some no-good stock for 200-300 pesos, and now, boom! 1, 2, 3, 4 oil wells she come in. Now, the company, she want to pay 10,000 pesos for the stock.
10,000 pesos? How much is that in Confederate money?
Oh, I do not know from Confederate, but it is $3,000-4,000 maybe.
Thanks for your trouble, Chiquita. Remember me to Pacho Villa. Well, Calvin, I'd say the next order of business is to get that stock away from Nephew Newton.
That seems like the thing to do, all right.
I wonder if he's got that stock in his suitcase. That's where he keeps all of his valuables.
Say, Colonel, I just thought of something. You ate my taco.
Why, so I did. Sorry, Calvin, old boy. I didn't notice. I guess I just absentmindedly put it in my mouth while I was thinking about that letter from...
No reason to take on like that, Colonel. It was only a taco. Feeling better, Colonel?
Yeah, thanks, Calvin. Now, where were we?
You were going to get the key to that suitcase.
Oh, yes. I got an idea that he keeps his keys pinned to his long underwear 'cause he's the only man that jingles when he sleeps.
Well, maybe you could wait and get the key when he changes his underwear.
No, Calvin. Who knows what may happen to the stock market by summer?
Oh, yeah. No sense taking chances.
Well, the first thing I gotta do is to see if that stock is in there. I think I'll go home and take that cowhide suitcase out to pasture.
Why did Nephew Newton leave his suitcase in the living room when he went out, sister dear?
He wants us to keep an eye on it because that husband of yours is a no-good, conniving, sneaky crook.
That's the best reason I ever heard of. I have a feeling someone's sneaking about.
Impossible, sister. The only sneak around here is down at the office.
Well, sir, we don't usually take an X-ray unless it's advised by your personal physician.
Well, he advised it. You see, they already fluoroscoped me.
And now you need an X-ray?
Yes, sir. You see, according to the official medical reports on file at Bellevue Hospital, they tell me that my insides look like a pizza that's been rejected.
Oh. All right. Step over here, please. Now hold it. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Thanks very much, sir.
Well, don't you want us to read it?
No, thank you. I'm one of those do-it-yourself patients. Just send the bill to Colonel Montgomery Claxon, 432 Main Street, Philippine Islands. Good day, sir. Uh-oh. The stuff in the suitcase is superimposed over my stomach.
Yeah, we have to figure out what's in your stomach and what's in the suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell whether that's a pair of socks with a hole in it or a bursted appendix.
Yeah, it will take a little diagnosing. You see anything that looks like a stock certificate?
Not yet.
Hey, look down here in the corner, Calvin. Compagnia Nacional Petrolara. That's it.
Yeah, that's it, all right. I see it peering at us through your giblets.
But how do we get it out of the suitcase without the key?
Yeah. You know, the fellow that invented locks sure ruined a lot of deals for us.
I know what. I'll put the suitcase back, and then I'll meet you over at Oliver Wendell Clutch's office.
What do you want me to do with the X-ray?
Hang it up on the wall, son. With the way my arteries weave through my elementary canal there, it kind of reminds me of the Great Lakes region.
Please do not use your telephone for a hammer. This is a recording.
Comprehend the situation. You locked your wife's nephew in a suitcase. Then you took an X-ray of his underwear and found a taco worth $4,000.
No, Judge. You've got it all wrong. I'll go over it again. Newton has some oil stock locked in his suitcase. It's worth maybe $4,000, and he keeps the key pinned to his underwear.
Oh, an inside job, eh? What about rendering the boy unconscious?
Yeah. Maybe if I bean the boy with a boulder.
Good heavens, no. Let's not be brutal. Now, I've been reading a book on the manly art of jiu-jitsu. There's a certain nerve that you can press that will render a man unconscious immediately. It's right back of the neck here someplace, and all you have to do is press it, and you go completely unconscious.
Come on, let's go, Calvin.
You gonna try that jujitsu on Newton?
No, Calvin, but I think Oliver put me on the right track. I've got another plan. Now, let's go over to the real estate office, and I'll tell you how we'll render Newton hors d'oeuvres de combat. Here we are. Yeah, that ought to do it.
You think this is gonna work, Colonel?
Can't miss. Now, step over to the closet, will you? Watch it there, Calvin. You got a little list to the starboard there. Straighten up. Come on, son, now.
You want me to hide behind those clothes, huh?
Yeah, and when I get Newton in the closet, you let him have it.
Yeah, well...
Here comes... Not yet, you dummy.
Colonel, you said that you, what are you doing there?
What am I doing? I'm meditating. All of us yogis meditate at least 2 or 3 hours a day.
You're a yogi? Oh, I didn't know they had yogis in this country.
Oh, yeah, big thing. Really catching on. They even came out with a spike contour chair for watching television.
Amazing.
Boy, I'm really sailing today. Afghanistan just went by.
How does this thing work?
Well, you just sit like this with your eyes closed until a thought hits you. Oh, wonderful experience.
I'd sure like to try it. Do you mind if I join you?
Join me. Now, look, you can't have 2 yogis sitting around meditating in the same room. It's against the laws of the National Retail Yoga Association.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh, of course, there's no law against you going into that empty closet and meditating in there.
Oh, goody.
Here, you take this, Newton.
Thanks, Colonel.
Now, just squat down there on the floor and meditate.
You think a thought will hit me?
Yeah, you'll be in a trance in no time.
Well, here goes.
Everything's all set. I say everything's all set. Well, just go in and get the key now.
Something wrong, Colonel?
Thought didn't hit you, huh?
I don't know. I started meditating, and something went by my ear.
I forgot. Say, Newton, you know you're facing the wrong way. Every genuine yogi faces the mysterious east, with the point of his chin facing up in the air.
Oh, am I all right now?
Cock your head a little. That's right. Now, there's a nice meditating angle.
You think a thought will hit me this time?
I guarantee it. Everything's all set. I say everything's all set. Well, that sounded like a winner.
You want something, Colonel?
You mean a thought didn't hit you yet?
Well, while I was sitting here with my chin up in the air, I felt a thought coming at me from behind those clothes. I didn't feel quite ready for it yet, so I just stepped back and I sort of counterpunched. There's the thought right there. This what you were after, Colonel?
You're wise to the whole operation, aren't you, Newton?
The only thing I don't understand is why you wanted it. There's nothing in my suitcase this trip that's worth anything. Except maybe my oil stock.
Well, that's what I was after. I was going to pay you for it, but I just didn't want you to go to all the trouble of taking your key off of your underwear and opening your suitcase.
You were going to do it for me? Why, Colonel?
Because I'm so crazy about you. I love you, nephew, dear.
Let's not get sloppy, Colonel. But it so happens that I want to hold on to that stock. I paid $400 for it. They say one of these days they're going to drill an oil well on the property. Then the stock will be worth a lot more.
Well, you haven't heard anything. They probably hit a dry hole and the stock is worthless.
You must have some inside information. But I'll tell you, I'll sell the stock for $400, no less.
I'll give you $250.
I think I'll go home and tell Maggie Bell and Sister Sue about you making me a yogi.
Sold for $400.
The money back to the house. We'll close the deal.
Are you all right now? Now. $180, $190, $200. There's my $200, Calvin. You got yours?
Right here. $200 on the button.
Now, Gummy, it was so sweet of you to give us $5 to go shopping.
Well, I always like to have my charming wife and sister-in-law to look up to date.
Come on, Maggie Bell.
No rush, but we might as well get the deal over with. Got the stock?
Right here.
Good. Now, here's the $400. And sign this little transfer slip right here that makes the stock officially mine as of now.
Right.
And that closes the deal.
I still don't see why you want this oil stock, seeing that it's worthless.
Newton, old boy, I got a surprise for you. It just so happens that I opened a letter addressed to you that says the stock is worth $3,000 or $4,000.
Colonel, I've got a surprise for you. I wrote that letter before I left South America. See you later, fellas.
Come on, Calvin, after him.
Well, ladies, we meet again.